Hi, welcome to my new channel, True Divine 44. I'm Jennifer Roberts, your tarot reader, and I'll be reading tarot on this channel month to month, for sign to sign, also playing around with the format in between times, just seeing what people need, seeing what people like. I like to play with the cards. So this will be for Virgo, and it's for January 2020. A general reading, but it's not so general, it's very specific for whoever it resonates with. There is transformation, just transformation in January for you. So we have, if this reading resonates with you, it's like, wow. So we have the World card popping out with the Sun. And I don't usually take the time to show most of the cards on videos unless I'm doing a private reading. I haven't got the right things to make the right angles and whatnot, not yet anyway. But then the Devil card pops out. Then the Hangman comes on the scene, here. Then we have the Six of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, but then the Major Arcana, again, keep popping it out. After that, there's the Chariot, and the Chariot clarifying the Chariot. Major movement, major change. Then we get the Lovers card, making an appearance with the Death card clarifying it. Then you jump to the Hierophant and the Tower card. And then we get the Nine of Rods, clarified by the Five of Rods, Wands. Wow, this is huge change, huge growth, huge movement in your life, in your spirit and soul, Virgo, if this resonates with you. I'll just adjust these cards again so I can see clearly. So we have the World card, and that is clarified by the Eight of Swords. Now, I did do a Virgo video. Hey, Theodore, you going to say hi? That's my son. So I did do... Hi. I did do a Virgo video last night that somebody called and I got distracted and couldn't get back to it. But the World card, the Sun card, the Hangman, many things came out that are similar to the reading that has come out today, the next day. So we have the World card that is clarified by the Eight of Swords, which is the same as the one I did last night. There's this, something happened, something that has been drawing on, that has been a longish cycle in your life, something that made you stop and think. But those thoughts were, going around and around for a little bit too long, not making sense, but hurting, getting you frustrated, not allowing you to think clearly about other things because you were in this cycle, this thought pattern of this specific issue. The World card comes in and it's the natural progression. You have thought your way out of this. The Sun card giving enlightenment to your thoughts, to your ideas, to your perspectives, and you have had a real shift in this far and no further with this issue. It's coming up for me, maybe familial issues, maybe addictions involved. But that'll evolve throughout the reading. So we have this thought pattern that was going round, circular all the time, but never having an opening to an end to it. But then all of a sudden, coming into January 2020, you have this natural cyclical end of, this far, no further. I will not be pulled down by these thoughts, by this behavior anymore. I will not do this anymore. The Sun card shining on you, the warm rays of the sun, powering you up again like a battery to go. You've really saw through illusions. Now, whether you're seeing through an illusion that you've built up of yourself or whether you're seeing through the illusions that others have built up around themselves. You know, they were playing you for a fool, or they were trying to portray a best friend, a best lover, and they weren't actually acting in that way behind the scenes or behind your back. You've seen through it. There's no darkness. You've got clarity. You align those thoughts, and you know the addictions do come up for me because they and like I say, whether that's for you or for somebody in your life, it's had a long-term, long drawn-out effect on the way you live, and how much enjoyment you're getting out of life. So you know there's this devil with the 7 of Swords, and you know you feel like you've sort of muddled your way through for a long time. You've put up with this issue, in particular an issue of addiction, for a long time, but there's been no resolve, and with this you're coming in with some creative thinking. The Ray of the Sun and the Devil card, you know, giving you the opportunity to look at addictions, like I say, whether it's you or somebody in your life, to see things with the Hangman from a different perspective, to look outside the box and see where you really want to be, where your real passions lie, where you can more safely and more ethically explore things that make you passionate, that make you happy, that make you glad. You know, there's this fatherly aspect coming in. Now, whether that's you embodying, whether you're male or female, embodying this fatherly role, or that's somebody coming in to help you have that different perspective. Sorry, the rabbit. That different perspective, that different way of thinking, of the way of looking at things, to really fire you up. And there is coming into, you know, around about mid-January, 3rd week of January for this reading, if it resonates for you. Remember time, what is it? You know, but if this resonates with you, great. It may resonate with you at a later date, coming into February maybe. But there's this victory of you've combated, you've won over your old cyclical thoughts and behavior patterns, either of yourself or somebody else that was affecting you, either way. You've overcome that, and you've come into a knowing, a seeing through either your ego or somebody else's ego that has been built up around this addiction, and you're seeing it from a different point of view, and you're going through the process of freeing yourself from that, and you come into this balance towards the end of January, this self-control, the ability to find new passions that are safe for you to delve into, to experiment, to explore in ways that don't harm you physically, mentally or spiritually. You've really come into this harmonizing place with the Temperance card, this balanced place, with this new way of thinking, with this new thought pattern, with this new, you feel stronger, you feel different, you feel like you want more from life, and you're not just going along with whatever other people implement in your life or affect your life with, or even whatever you implement in your life and affect your life adversely with. You're being strategic, you're thinking it through, and that balance really screams out with the few minor arc cards that came out in this reading. Is the 2 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. You know, you're making a foundation, you're seeing through old ego, and you're really melding and blending the divine feminine and the divine masculine within yourself, and that seems to in this reading attract the right people into your life to attract, like a magnet, you know, like attracts like, and be with this balance, this harmony that you feel, this due diligence to self. You're attracting in other people, even if they're not partners, lovers, you know, friends that are balanced and whole in themselves and can give you what you can give them. They can give you good strategic talk. They can give you things that, like talks and activities that really light your fire, the way either you or somebody in your life was chasing falsely through an addiction. Now it's through a passion. You can separate the two. You can see the difference now. You can see you have the empowerment over self, over ego, and you have the blending of self, whole self, which is such a brilliant thing. And with that comes in this movement, this drastic change in your life cycle, this drastic change in your lifestyle. You know, you're ready to move. You feel brave enough to change and move and start to morph into this new balanced person that you are, and accept the balance that comes into your life through that. Balanced people, whole people, not so much, not the broken all the time, and people who don't mind dealing in reciprocity, you know, giving back what you give them. But there is this real movement. Maybe you are, you know, packing up, moving out of a situation that you were in for a long time. Maybe you are moving abroad, or maybe it is this drastic change and movement in the mind and in the spirit and the soul of finding your life path that gives you your most optimum life experiences. You make a decision. You've made the decision to move away from that just harms you, make feel good at the time, even being addicted to bad relationships, to relationships that don't do you well. You know, there's this, you've made this strong decision with the Lovers card, again being in balance with that divine feminine and that divine masculine aspect of yourself. And there's this inevitable change. You may go through a bit of a cocoon period where your environment, you want some solitude, you want some time for self, you want some time out to morph and change and actually come out the other end looking like a different person, looking and feeling younger, because your thought pattern is lighter. Your thoughts about yourself are lighter and happier. You know, you're not digging yourself out, or you're not allowing other people to label you and digging you down. So there's this real transformation of self, and it's a beautiful transformation. There may have been some of abuse that I'm picking up during this time. If this resonates with you, my heart goes out to you, and I send you strength and courage. But you have that, it's coming in. You haven't felt that for a long time, but that is, it's coming in. You're calling it into self, all on your own, all due to you and your abilities to control yourself, control your environment, but still be in flow with change and movement. This abuse maybe from a long time ago, or maybe from in this cycle, this long cycle that you were in. It may be abuse is abuse is abuse, but it may be the kind of abuse that is strong enough, bad enough. Abuse is all bad, but you know, at a level where law steps in, where there is a court case, where there is some retribution, and you know, that looks good for you. It looks like you finally have not just in yourself, you've managed to transmute these feelings and see that they may have led you to burying your head in addictions, or allowing someone around you that's been in this position to affect you by burying their head in addictions that aren't good for them. and therefore aren't good for the people around them. You know, I think you've already taken that on board, and you've gone to court yourself. You've taken yourself to court, and you've given yourself permission to heal and move on, and not further abuse self or further abuse people around you to cover up this pain, this wound that hasn't been dealt with. So you've done that on one aspect, and again, just like the magnetism of bringing balanced people into your life because you've balanced yourself within, you've brought about in the outer environment this court case, this law coming in to decide upon guilt or not guilt. But what I'm really proud of, if I can say that, what I'm really proud of is you haven't actually waited for that to happen. You know what happened. You know the guilt that that people should have that caused you that abuse, and you have decided for yourself. You've put your hammer down yourself to say no more. This was not right. This is not good. I didn't deserve this. I didn't ask for this. It was not okay, but I'm going to be okay. So that puts you in a real strong position for this court case if it's coming up for you, because you're not hinging everything on it. You're not hinging your healing on it or yourself on it, but it is a good full stop for you nevertheless, to be able to have that also. Again, balance. You know, you've laid down the decision, the final result in yourself, and then the outer universe around you is coming in to do it for you as well, to stamp it, to say, right, okay, this is that, you know, this is, now you can go, now you're free of these chains once and for all. And, you know, for the person that abused you, there's a very strong potential of a real destructive moment in their life, you know, where they may be incarcerated, put in jail, they may be ordered to do something to repay you, society, you know, something drastic that changes their life. And there's that, for the final result, there's that nearly there feeling, nearly done. And so, but for you, I would like you to, after this court case, this result, you know, to really go back to earlier on in the reading. Be your own father, be your own mother, be your own guru, and really truly ask yourself again, what's making me feel passionate? What's making me feel free? What's making me feel invigorated? And you go for it, because if you can, which you have, had such huge transformation, such huge goals attained, in the face of real difficult situations, you can do anything you put your mind to, Virgo. You are a strong warrior. You are a star, the wounded warrior. The star card hasn't come out here, but you know, the feeling for me with the star card is that I always illustrate the star card as a female with wounds, with scars, bloodied up sometimes, because yes, it's a beautiful card, and she's healing, she's hope, she's balance, you know, she's but also I feel that you only get to be the star if you have, especially in the environment we live in right now as it is, you get to be the star when you haven't just avoided pain, wounds, hurts, afflictions. You've felt your way through them. Somebody or yourself has given them to you, and instead of ignoring them, you've felt your way through them. You've transmuted them. You've changed them into not an open festering wound that festers over the years, but you've cleaned it out, you've debrided it, you know, taken all of the sludge off it and gotten to the core of it, and then you've literally made that core into fertilizer for new growth, new leveling up. That's the star card. And although the star card hasn't come out in this reading, that's where I see you in the final result. That's where I would like you to put yourself, if this reading resonates with you, as the beautiful warrior-like star card. Yes, it's a serene card. Yes, it's a beautiful card, but she's a warrior. You know, she's been through shit, and she's felt through it. She hasn't ignored it. She's given space and time to herself to acknowledge it, transmute it into something that's usable, something that's that can be used for your gain and gain of others, by seeing somebody make it through such hardship, such wounds, and make it out the other side into a balanced, more expansive human being. So I just want to clarify the final card a tiny bit more for you, Virgo, and see what we get, just to finish this off and pad it out for you, and just feel like there's something else that might need to be said. Sorry, try not to shake the table when we have the mother, the 3. So the mother's popped out there. And for me, you know, the mare is following on a very loose tie. She's following the pregnant mother, and the child is holding the mother's hand. So you have the mother and the children, but also, just as I was saying just there, such a great example to people around you, people who will come across you in your life when you've healed from such wounds and not ignored them, but felt your way through them and actually expanded from them. The mare wants to follow the lady. She's not being pulled, she's not being yanked. She just wants to follow because she's setting a good example. She's gently nurturing the baby, carrying the baby. She's gently holding the hand. Everybody just wants to follow by example. And you know that, you're an eternal being, and you're so much more powerful than you knew before. But I have an inkling that you're starting to realize how powerful you are. You know, and you're going to be secure. You're going to really be able to tackle all aspects of your life, to build up firm foundations in your life, firm foundations in your life, firm relationships, and firm relationship with self, and also, you know, even financial stability. Be able to maintain that financial stability. One second. So, the Chariot again, the Chariot. So, you know, this is real movement, synchronous movement. You know, you've got your divine feminine on this card and your divine masculine balanced, going in the same direction, knowing where they're going, knowing where to be, and how to get there, but they're moving. There's movement, there's change. You're not being stuck in this cycle that you may be in right now. There's such oneness coming in for you. Cutting out old habits, cutting out old people, old circumstances, with the 5 of Pentacles, and, you know, having true clarity. And the 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck, again, another card to say the cycle is ending, and you're growing from this, you're changing from this, you're moving out of this. And what a beautiful reading, Virgo. If this did resonate with you, and you have had abuses that have affected you greatly for a long time, I'm so proud of you, and really feel for you, that you've done such great works, all off your own back, all you, all your power to you. So Virgo, if you would like a reading from me, if you want to drill down any further into anything I've said today, or you would like a brand new reading with your own questions asked, just contact me in the contact details in the drop box below. I also do facilitation of energy work, you know, just showing you how you can use the energy around you and the energy within you for your own empowerment. If you would like any of that kind of work, again, use those details in the drop box below. And for now, I hope you come back. I wish you so well on your journey and your transformation, and just be balanced, be whole. You're going to be. It's there. It's for you. Much love.